First of all, I believe Chaplain Kay Wilson just arrived. Kay, if you'd lead us in the invocation, if everybody could stand if you're able to.
Good evening, members of the council and distinguished staff. So let's take a moment and be really together. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this community where we take time to honor people who bring special joy and recognition to our community. The soccer team, our dispatcher of the year, Christina, and the things we celebrate, art and culture, and days like Arbor Day and organizations that do good things for the world and particularly our community. And Lord, there seems like there's so little peace anywhere. I ask that there be peace now for the next couple of hours while we honor each other and celebrate good things. And even as King David said, Lord, hear my prayer. To the ends of the earth I cry to you. When my heart is faint, hear my prayer. And lead me to the strong tower where there is shelter and safety. Let people who live in Santa Paula feel safe and enjoy the life that you've provided for us. I ask blessings on our council as they deliberate hard things, and our staff who helps prepare the work that they need to study. Give us good and safe sleep tonight, and help us to make each day better for those around us. And I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Kay. Vice Mayor Crosser, would you lead us in flag salute?
Hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if we could have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Chavez.
Present.
Councilmember Cornejo.
Here.
Councilmember Ornelas.
Here.
Vice Mayor Crosswhite.
Here.
Mayor Juarez.
Here.
All present this evening.
Thank you. Si alguien necesita ayuda para oír la cita en español, arrímese a Miss Julie, agarra los audífonos. All right, thank you. We'll go to item number 5, public comment. I have 2 public comment cards for, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. All right, we have 2 public comments, 2 speakers. First will be Richard Rudman, followed by Joseph Beerhalter. You have 3 minutes, sir. Thank you.
I'll turn you back some time. Mayor Juarez, Vice Mayor Crosswhite, council staff, and fellow Santa Paulans. As most of you know, a coalition of community sponsors will host the first cruise night of 2026 on First Friday, May 1st. I'm Richard Rudman, representing the Board of Directors of the Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber has been working with the city on several new features for cruise night. I'm going to mention a couple of them. One is a way for businesses to sign up for paid 10 by 10 spaces during cruise night. Another is a way for nonprofit organizations to sign up for free 10 by 10 spaces. If you're interested, please email the Chamber at info@santapaula.com, the Santa Paula Chamber all run together, .com. Our operations manager will get back to you on email with the information you need to sign up for either business or nonprofit spaces. Again, email us at info@santapaulachamber.com. And I thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Rudman. Next, we have Joseph Beerhalter.
Good evening. Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
I want to make this clear. This has nothing to do with cannabis, but everything to do with the sanctity of our democratic process. Allowing or not allowing a cannabis dispensary is not going to affect my life just like yours. If you're making decisions on topics due to personal viewpoints or worried what a colleague or member of your church might think, that's poor governance. I believe in the democratic process, which should not be applied selectively based on personal viewpoints or social pressures. If this council supports a public vote for sales tax increases, it should maintain the same level of transparency and consistency for other significant citywide topics. You cannot pick and choose when the citizens' voice matter based on whether the topic is comfortable for you personally. To ensure that the governance of Santa Paula remains responsive to the entire community and not just a small sample size or a vocal few, I am requesting for the third time that City Council take the appropriate steps that term limits for City Council be placed on a future agenda. Let the public voice their opinion. Let this council discuss and debate it. And then let the record show where each member stands on the future of our local democracy. And with that, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Beerhalter. We now move on to item number 6A, presentations. We're very honored tonight to have the Santa Paula AYSO Soccer Championship recognition. I think a lot of them are here, right? All right, so there's a bunch of them, and we're going to recognize not only the youths that participated, but also some of the staff that made it happen. So I'm going to read the certificate of recognition. I'll read in its entirety, and then each of the council members will read the names of one of the recipients. So this is a certificate of recognition presented to, first person is Jonathan Magana, Western States Champion, Santa Paula AYSO 14U Boys Team. In recognition of your outstanding achievement as a member of the Santa Paula AYSO 14U Boys Team, earning first place at the Western States Championship, your dedication, teamwork, perseverance, and commitment throughout a challenging journey have brought pride and honor to our community. This historic accomplishment reflects your hard work on and off the field and sets a lasting example for future generations of Santa Paula athletes. And on behalf of the City Council, this is presented to each of the recipients. Carlos Juarez, Mayor of Santa Paula. That's one name. So, Pedro Chavez.
Oliver Jacobo, Michael Zamora, Manuel Gonzalez.
Abel Duran, Jesus Nedia, John Rodriguez, and Javier Aguinaga.
Iker Ramírez, Nilo Sizumbo, y Alan Padua.
Roberto Garcia, Daniel Méndez, Pedro Torres, and Eric Cervantes.
All right. Are all those youths here in the room? Most of them? All right. Well, here's what we'd like to do. I don't know if there's enough room for everybody to be down there, so why don't we invite all the youths to come up here on the dais, and they can stand right here on the dais, and we'll give them their certificates, and if the parents or anybody want to take a photo. So have them join us up here.
Who's Oliver?
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 Oliver.
There you go, hold that up, all right?
That was perfect.
Michael?
Jesus Nedia? Is that how you say your last name? Yeah.
Manuel? Manuel?
John Rodriguez? Javier Aguinaga? You can open it up and show your.
And who is, let's see,
Is Manuel here?
Jonathan Magana? He's not here. Not here? Okay. We'll give it to the coach.
Who's the captain? Give that to.
I know Lilo, but he's not here. Everyone. Was who John as captain? Me and John.
You know what, we're
Yeah,
kind of
John
bunched
is-
up on that side. Let's move you guys over this way.
I never got this.
Yeah, because you weren't there.
Yeah, good. He's the main guy.
Feet hold it if you can.
I don't know, they're gonna have to squat down.
No me alcanza a ver, ¿ah? Que está muy grande esto. You guys back?
Separate a little bit.
You guys back? Yeah, you got me.
You guys pick on a little bit. Yeah, like that.
There we go, perfect.
I can't.
I can't.
Let's walk.
Holding it.
You've done such a wonderful job.
Right, I've been going like crazy.
Everyone else
Me? Same. Did everyone get it?
All right, let's give another round.
It's the same thing that I said with my Chinese.
Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. No, I mean, but you're gonna come back up, I think. Do they say the same? Yes, we have some for the staff too, the coaches, so. Just read, I think they all say the same. Yeah. Okay, well, it goes without saying that, we have some phenomenal youth in our city, but we also have phenomenal coaches and teachers and assistants and everyone else, and they shouldn't go without recognition as well. So we have some certificates, and so I'm going to read them. And the body of the certificate is the same, but the names are different. So let me read this. This is a certificate of recognition presented to Maggie Yepe, AYSO staff, Santa Paula AYSO 14U boys team. In recognition of your outstanding leadership, dedication, and commitment to the Santa Paula AYSO 14U boys team, culminating in a historic first place finish at the Western States Championship. Your guidance, support, and unwavering belief in these young athletes helped shape not only a championship team, but a group that represents the pride, resilience, and spirit of our community. Your efforts have made a lasting impact on the lives of these players and have brought great honor to the city of Santa Paula. On behalf of the City Council, Carlos Suarez, Mayor. So again, this is for Maggie Yepe. We also have a certificate with the same language on it for AYSO staff Victor Hernandez. Also presented to Regional Commissioner, Santa Paula AYSO 14U boys team, Yolanda Beltran. Assistant Coach, Santa Paula AYSO 14U boys team, Christian Villa. And last but not least, Head Coach, Santa Paula AYSO 14U boys team, Pedro Duran. So again, if we can have everybody whose name was mentioned come on up, we'll take another picture with you folks.
They're our future.
And then Victor wasn't able to join us.
Somebody will give that to you. That's Maggie?
I will
You make sure that gets.
Hopefully this breaks ice and has more kids want to pursue something like this. That is taking up all the real estate.
All the real estate. All right, let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Timmy.
Coach, thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you. Well, thank you again to everybody who made this happen in Mayor City, put us on the map again. Okay, this next recognition is going to be, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I know we've all had the chance to say congratulations, but I just have to step in here because I was a soccer mom, an ASO soccer mom with 3 boys for 14 years. So I know how much work it is, how much dedication, and how important it is to the kids and what it does for their lives. And so now, luckily, I have grandkids also doing the same. And it can't be done without the coaches and the support of the families, getting everybody to their practices in time and bringing the snacks and the schedules and all of that. And so it's quite an accomplishment. I really understand what all you go through, and I just congratulate you all for all your success, win or lose, but especially with the win.
Thank you, Councilmember Canelo. Councilmember Chavez.
I just want to say how proud I am to be part of a community that cares so much of our young people. We are a community that grows champions. We've seen so much recognition for our youth sports, the soccer fields. Now you guys are able to have a nice new park to play in, to grow in. And as a community, we so appreciate all the coaches for all their time and attention to our young people, especially because they're our future and we got to focus and make sure they have a better one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Chavez. Councilmember Nellis.
I'll just add congratulations. You all should be very proud of yourselves. The players, parents, it takes a lot. So I'm very proud of you as a councilwoman, but also as just a community member. It's really exciting I hope you guys feel it. All of you boys and coaches feel that there is pride behind you all from your community. And I'm happy that as a council, we're recognizing you, and I hope that you carry this with you throughout anything you do in sports or in your life. This is a really great recognition, and I hope that it stays with you in a positive way, and keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations.
I mean, I think pretty much everything has been said, but just again, grateful for all of the parents who support their young people, for the coaches that show up. It just makes such a big difference and in the lives of these young people to have that good example. And so grateful for all of you, and such an honor that we could recognize this achievement. We've always known that Santa Paula is a special place, and now the whole region gets to know that too. So thank you.
Well, the youths and the coaches have gotten recognition, but again, it goes without saying that behind every successful young guy are a great set of parents and friends and family. So again, thank you to the parents and friends and family that helped these young people get to this point. We really appreciate it. Okay, we go on to item 6B, which is Dispatcher of the Year, Cristina de la Mora. So this week is, or Chief, did you want to say something first, or?
Sure.
Good.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Oh, well, just on top of this recognition to our Dispatcher of the Year, just want to mention that this week is also National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, which means it covers all aspects of the dispatching telecommunications system of all police departments. And so we just want to make sure that everybody knows that this week is special as well.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, and all of our viewing audience. I'm honored to be here tonight once again to recognize one of our public safety dispatchers. Every year, we select a Dispatcher of the Year based on their exemplary performance, how they handle calls with the public, how they handle calls in emergency situations, and how they are the lifeline for not only our community, but our officers. And as you see here tonight, we have our officers are here, we have dispatchers here in the audience, and I know there's our dispatcher in Dispatch Center is watching on TV right now, because it's really important for us to recognize all of the outstanding work that they do. If I can invite Cristina de la Mora up here really quick. Cristina was nominated by her peers and supervisors for this award, And I'm very proud that she was selected. And tomorrow night, she joins a list of other dispatchers from all law enforcement agencies in the county for a Dispatcher of the Year special event where she will receive additional recognition along with the other dispatchers. And I have to tell you that these dispatchers, these public safety dispatchers, are the master multitaskers of any job I know of, and they're truly to be commended for being able to do numerous things at once, calling the fire department when an emergency comes through, getting emergency traffic over the radio when our officers are in need of help, and also for those who have medical emergencies or need immediate assistance, or those who are frantic calling 911, needing to talk to someone that can help them immediately and quickly. And that's what epitomizes all of our public safety dispatchers. Our dispatchers have been fully staffed for over 2.5 years. We love having them. They take care of us every day, and we provided them each gifts today to show our appreciation as a department for the amazing work they do. So I would like to present Christina with our annual award. This is to Dispatcher Cristina de la Mora in honor of your outstanding service to the community. So congratulations. There you go.
Thank you.
Multitask dispatchers right here, taking care of business, as usual.
Are those flowers for someone special?
Thank you.
So this is a certificate of recognition from the Santa Paula City Council. In recognition of exemplary achievement in being selected as the Santa Paula Police Department Dispatcher of the Year, your inspirational efforts supports the public safety commitment of dedicated services to our community. All dispatchers are a vital component as a lifeline to our citizens and our police officers every minute of every day. We honor you and our dispatcher team during this week, recognized as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Thank you for your service and proudly representing our community. I, Carlos Juarez, Mayor of the City of Santa Paula, and on behalf of the City Council and the community of the City of Santa Paula, praise and recognize Cristina de la Mora, Santa Paula Police Department Public Safety Dispatcher of the Year this Wednesday, April 15, 2026. Congratulations. It's all good. Councilwoman Dunn, real quick. Don't get off that easy. Now you got to take one with the council here. Chief, do you want to join us for a second? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. Congratulations again. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
comments from council?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment regarding this recognition. And, Christina, you serve the community, and the community's here and has your back, right? And I want to acknowledge you. I know it's sometimes uncomfortable to receive praise and be able to take those words in that are being said by others. But you are paving the way for other young people to look at you as a positive role model. And we have so many young people in the room. So thank you for what you're doing to serve our community through your public service. And to all the young people out there, this is one person you want to aspire to be one day, because Christina is being recognized for being an extraordinary individual working in her capacity as a dispatcher. So there's a lot of opportunities we have, and we have a wonderful team here at the City of Santa Paula. So thank you again for what you do and to inspire our young people to achieve and follow dreams.
Thank you, Mayor. When I first got on council some 5 years ago or so, I got a tour of all the different departments. And I have to say the dispatch department is probably one of the most impressive, because you've got all those screens, and talk about multitasking. It's just pretty amazing to watch how you work there. And then as we've improved systems, then you have to learn all the new systems and adapt to those and still take care of the public. So it's just an amazing job. And if you're honored by your peers as the best of the best, I just congratulate you. It's amazing. Thanks.
I'll just add to that by congratulating you again for your work. I've sat in dispatch way back in the day when I interned with the police department, but I've also visited since. It is definitely not an easy job, and I do not envy your job at all. Multitasking is an understatement for the things that come in and what you have to do and how quickly you have to respond, because there is lives on the line sometimes, or a lot of times. So I'm glad that this is getting recognized in this space, so that our community members like myself who haven't met you can know who you are, and know that we have wonderful people that are going to pick up that phone when we call and we need help. So thank you for the work that you do and the skills that you have, and putting them to work here in our community. And like Councilmember Chavez said, your community supports you. We support the work that the department does, and so congratulations. I hope that your family feels as proud as we all do, and keep doing what you're doing.
When someone needs to call, like, you hope you never have to call, right? But when someone needs to call, the dispatchers are the first ones that they talk to. And, and I know sometimes they're calm, but sometimes they're very anxious, right? Depending on what's happened or what's going on. And in addition to all of the multitasking and everything, you're meeting them there in that space. And it's a really critically important job and space to meet our members of the community in when they are having a crisis. And so I'm just really grateful for the dedication that you have to serving this community, and all of the emotional energy that takes, as well as the multitasking and everything. And so just really grateful for all that you do to help our community. And so it's great that we can honor you. So thank you for your service.
Well, it's great to see some of our coworkers, the officers here, the chiefs and commanders as well. When I was a police officer, I also had the opportunity to work dispatch. I'd work an occasional graveyard shift, and it could easily go from 0 to 100. Do any of the officers ever have to work relief when the dispatcher takes a break? Isn't that like the most terrifying 5, 10, 15 minutes that you'll experience? You can't wait till she gets back, right? Anyway, Christina, and on behalf of the Santa Paula City Council, congratulations to you and your family. All right, thank you very much. We're going to move on now to item 6C, which is Art and Culture and Creativity Month Proclamation. Tracy, would you like to say something before I read the proclamation?
Yes, or actually, I don't know how this goes. There are 13 of us we'd like recognized. Would you like to read the proclamation first, and then I'll list the group? Thank you.
That sounds good. We'll give a few seconds for our room to clear out of like 90%. Thank you again, everyone. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, this next item was item 6C, Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month Proclamation. This proclamation, Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, April 2026. Whereas Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month in April marks the 8th annual statewide celebration first established by the California Legislature in 2019, and whereas the city recognizes that arts, culture, and creativity are essential public goods, vital for the health and growth of thriving communities, and whereas arts, culture, and creativity bring joy by uniting communities, inspiring individuals, and celebrating the richness of our city's diversity, and whereas art, culture, and creativity inspire action that drives positive change and strengthens the social fabric of our communities, and whereas arts, culture, and creativity power our city's capacity to address community challenges, including advancing equity, inclusion, and access, and whereas arts, culture, and creativity shape neighborhood character, attract tourism, foster civic pride, and contribute to public safety and social well-being, whereas creativity sparks innovation, produces youth with a well-rounded education, and equips our future workforce with critical skills and civic values, and whereas arts, culture, and creativity significantly enhances the quality of life for adults, seniors, people with disabilities, and their caregivers who are often part of marginalized populations. And whereas arts, culture, and creativity drive local economic growth, stimulate business activity, create jobs and workforce opportunities, and serve as essential pillars for small businesses, and whereas over 16,000 arts and culture nonprofits support more than 800,000 jobs and generate $289 billion, representing 7.5% of the state's economy, and whereas California is the 5th largest economy in the world with a creative economy of approximately $261 billion and 847,688 jobs in 2022, according to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, and whereas the city values the positive economic, social, and aesthetic impacts that its creative community and cultural organizations contribute to the city and its residents, and whereas the city identified arts, culture, and entertainment as one of its 6 strategic categorical areas in its 2025-2027 strategic plan, and whereas the city honors and celebrates the unique ways that its arts, culture, nonprofits serve the community and provide access of creative self-expression to its residents as well as to local artists and performers, and whereas these collective efforts at the local, regional, and state levels promote innovation, prosperity, equity, and enrich the lives of all Californians, and now, therefore, it be resolved, the City Council of the Santa Paula, State of California, hereby proclaims April 2026 and every April thereafter as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, and encourages all residents to join in the celebration. Passed and adopted by the City Council of the City of Santa Paula this 15th day of April 2026. Carlos Suarez, Mayor, City of Santa Paula. Congratulations to you.
On behalf of the Santa Paula Arte and Cultura Collective, we're a new group formed to support and strengthen Santa Paula's artists and cultural organizations. We'd love to honor the 13 arts and culture organizations that support and serve our community, of which leaders are here. And I don't know if you want them all up in the dais, but I would love to introduce them to the community. I don't know, I could call you out and come up as I call. You'll be amazed to learn that collectively, this group, I'm going to read them off in terms of order of when they were formed, their ages, but collectively, they've supported, contributed 399 years of producing experiences and knitting the fabric of our communities together. And so I'm going to start first from our youngest, the Ventura County Science Center. Marcus Erickson and Anna Cummings formed in 2022. De Colores Multicultural Arts. I don't know if folks want to stand up when they're announced, so we see you. Multicultural Folk Arts, Vanessa Acosta, formed in 2020. The Cole Creativity Center, Gabe Islas is here, and Janice Allen, formed in 2018. The House of Magic, James Latenya, formed in 2012. The Agricultural Museum, Lori Beth Gregory Beck and Lisa Pinonen are here, formed in 2011. Santa Paula Arts Museum, Jennifer Heighton is here, formed in 2010. The Huitzlan Huacan Cultural Center, Francisco Arias, formed in 2005. And the Santa Paula Theater Center, formed in 1985. I'm not sure, we've got folks here. Danza Azteca Tonantzin de Santa Paula, Raimundo Pineda and Crystal Luna, formed in 1984. And the Santa Paula Historical Society, Jennifer representing as well, Hayton, formed in 1977. The Santa Paula Society of the Arts, formed in 1968. The Blanchard Library, formed in 1910. Maisha Olson and Justin are here. And Los Chinelos is another group. I'm not sure if a representative came, and I don't know what year they were formed. But I share those dates just to illustrate every one of those organizations is a village in its own, a group of people devoting hours of labor to our community, to knit the fabric together, to weave our social and cultural lives, and just really want to recognize them as a labor force. The artists, the culture bearers, the leaders and administrators and workers that make all of this happen, largely volunteer, on a volunteer basis. So just really want to honor their contributions to Santa Paula today. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy, would anybody, besides yourself, would anybody else want to make a comment from that group?
Yeah, would anyone else like to contribute comments? I couldn't hear your, oh, there's, sorry, Judy, I didn't see you. Judy Clement with Society of the Arts. I'm sorry, was the invitation, I couldn't hear you over.
Yeah, if any individual wants to come up on that, any of the groups.
Yeah, would anyone like to say a word?
All right, well, we're going to put everybody on the spot. We're going to clear the dais again, bring everybody up, so.
Fantastic. Oh, James.
Yeah, including James.
House of Magic from the trap door.
Yeah, everybody.
I know, right?
Come on up here, Tracy. Yeah, I think that's. And then here's proclamations, so we'll hold it.
Would somebody like to get? I will. I know I'm short. Oh, in the back. He's got room over here. Here, I'll go down. I'll go down. Can I sit?
Look at this amazing rainbow.
How many years? 300?
399. That's amazing.
Come on
Everybody scoot in a little bit, get a wide angle lens.
Everybody rotate. Yeah. You're in the front row.
Gabby,
I like it. Front and center. There you go. Okay.
I have a couple of cameras here. You all ready?
Yes.
All you people in the back, make sure your faces can see my camera.
We'll say create. That'll give us teeth.
Yeah.
You just give us a count, Clerk Judy. Julie.
Okay, wait, I have another camera.
Oh, boy.
Oh, give us 1, 2, 3.
I did.
Sorry.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Create. 3, 3, 3.
Okay.
Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This way.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Okay. In random places. Yeah. The little playhouse here. Oh, yeah.
Good job, man. Do you want to read the Arbor Day one? Sure.
On our way, yes.
Take care, thank you. Take care.
Gotta stay.
Take care, thank you.
Granddaughters are coming.
Oh, we forgot to get, I know. Okay, we're back here. We're going to move on to item 6D, which is Arbor Day Proclamation. Vanessa Olmos, is she here? Vanessa Olmos will speak. Also in attendance is Ulysses Valenzuela and Abel Duque. And then we have a proclamation.
All right, good evening, everyone. Mayor Juarez, thank you for this proclamation today. On behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department and the Commission, I'm happy to be here. Celebrating Arbor Day is a testament to the department's commitment of beautifying Santa Paula and the work that Director Barnes and his team the work that they put in, it really shows. This is celebrating Arbor Day is so important that we are in fact celebrating our 5th year as a certified tree city. Yes, yay. So with that being said, as a tree city, I would like to invite the public to our Arbor Day celebration next Friday, April 24th at 10 a.m., which will be at Glen City School, but it is open to the public. We are also extending the poetry contest for our youth, which is elementary through high school. That deadline has been extended through Monday, so anyone who wants to submit a poem can still do so by sending that to the Parks and Recreation Department. I would like to extend my deep thanks to Abel, who is here with us, and Uli, who is not here tonight. They, along with Greg Barnes, put in so much time and effort into really honoring the 2-for-1 program, where any tree that is taken out, they plant 2 in its place. So thank you to the Parks and Recreation Department for that.
All right, thank you. I think we also had Ulysses Valenzuela, if he's here, and/or Abel Duque. Do you want to speak? That's it?
I'm the lucky representative.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, and we're going to go ahead and read the proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Give you a little break in reading. Proclamation, Arbor Day 2026. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and whereas our trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Carlos Juarez, Mayor of the City of Santa Paula, do hereby proclaim April 24th as Arbor Day in the City of Santa Paula, and I urge all residents to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all residents to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 15th day of April 26, and signed Carlos Juarez, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, thank you. We're going to come down and take a picture of you.
Getting our steps today.
There we go.
Good?
Thank you. Abel, thank you very much.
Submit a comment card.
Any comments from council?
No, it's a different item. For the park across the street,
Do you want to hold for additional public comments, Mayor?
Yeah, let's finish up with our discussion real quick. Any comments from staff on the Arbor?
For what?
The Arbor Day proclamation? No, you don't have to. Just again, we're just thankful to our staff that cares for our trees, and I love the one out, two in. That's a great way to stay ahead, so.
And just to appreciate all staff does for that program. And I know that, we have the grid with all the trees. We know where every tree is in the city, and they know which ones are sick and which are well and are really tending to that. So I just appreciate that so much. And again, that 2-to-1 program of when we lose one, we make an effort to plant two is just awesome. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'd already passed public comment, but, and yours is just general comment, sir, that you wanted to make?
it's just something that, it's kind of, how do I say this? Because I see a lot of kids, like across the street, they get off the bus and they go to the restroom. I go to the restroom there, and there's no toilet paper, ever. I understand there's people that go in there and do drugs and stuff. I don't use drugs, but one of the city workers is very good about putting paper. It's because when you have to go to the restroom and there's nothing there to, how do I say this, wipe you behind? But there's never paper. If it could just be addressed to the city worker, his name is Raul. Sometimes he'll only open the women's side, and then he'll leave the men's side closed. I don't ever want to walk into a female restroom. But sometimes, like, you know, I'm in a hardship right now, to be honest with you. But it's just like, man, just put some paper in there, man. You know. But that's my apologies. That's my only my complaint.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and if I could just ask the city manager to get a hold of our Parks and Rec Department. I know this is a chasing problem that we constantly do, because, one inconsiderate person could go in there and get rid of all of it, and then it leaves it empty. So, again, it's something that just, if our staff could just kind of keep an eye on it. Thank you very much for your comments, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a good night. Thank you. Hope you didn't mind me allowing him to speak, but, okay. Next item we're going to go to is item 6E, Interface Children and Family Presentation. This will be presented by Gerardo Gonzalez, Community Information Associate Director. Good evening, Gerardo.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, and City Manager. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm here to share how 211 has been supporting Santa Paula residents throughout this past year. For those who may be unfamiliar with our services, 211 operates as a program under Interface Children and Family Services. We serve as a countywide information and referral hub, linking residents to more than 2,000 health and human service resources throughout the region. In 2025, we received over 18,000 calls and texts countywide, and our website welcomed more than 25,000 visitors. Each of these interactions represents someone finding their way to the services that they need. In 2026, we celebrate over 20 years of providing 211 services to the community. 211 represents just one part of Interface's comprehensive mission. Interface runs 30 distinct programs across 6 core departments, as displayed here on the screen. This broader network allows us to connect callers directly to other Interface programs suited to their situations. 211 stands as the county's most extensive information referral resource for residents seeking help. Our team assists callers in locating and accessing the services that they require, from housing to food program, mental health support to legal services. We're available 24/7 every day of the year, understanding that urgent needs don't wait for convenient hours. Before I continue, I want to acknowledge that over this past year, Santa Paula has invited 211 to participate in your Immigration Forum Committee. You considered 211 to be an important part of supporting the community, and we're honored to be part of those conversations and to provide comprehensive immigration resources. I share this because it reflects something fundamental about who 211 is and always has been. We are a free, confidential, non-judgmental, and impartial service dedicated to connecting people with the help they need based on availability and need. Our role is not to judge, it's to guide. We're here to help anyone who calls, regardless of their circumstances, and connect them to the services that are available to them. Accessibility is central to our mission. Residents can connect with us in 3 simple methods. That's by calling 211, texting their zip code to 898-211, or visiting our website at 211ventura.org. Regardless of how someone makes contact, they'll be connected to one of our trained community information navigators. Now I'd like to share some specific data about how we serve Santa Paula residents in 2025. We took 680 calls from Santa Paula residents throughout the year. Let me give you some context around this figure. A significant number of our Santa Paula callers reach out to us more than once. So the actual count of unique individuals is lower than the 680 calls that we received. What this shows us is that residents trust 211 enough to come back when they need additional support. Someone might contact us initially about finding housing, give us a call back a few weeks later if they need job search help, and perhaps a third call when they need food assistance. We collect demographic information from every caller to help us understand community needs and trends, which is why you're seeing the total call volume rather than a count of unique individuals. Looking at the demographics of those that we served, 264 were first-time callers to 211, 94 were families with children under 5 years old, 14 callers indicated the person in need was pregnant, 32 calls pertained to someone who reported that they were at risk of homelessness at the time of the call, and 45 calls pertain to someone who was currently experiencing homelessness. And again, this could be kind of some of the same people calling us multiple times. That doesn't necessarily mean there's 45 individuals, who are currently homeless at this time. These numbers give us a snapshot of the challenges facing some of our Santa Paula neighbors, particularly around housing stability and economic security in terms of 211 calls. Behind each of these calls is a real person navigating a difficult situation. Let me share an example with you. Earlier this year, we received a call from a Santa Paula resident, let's call her Lola, who was facing a crisis that affected her entire family. She'd been laid off from her job, and while she was collecting unemployment benefits, it wasn't enough to cover all of her bills. She fell behind on rent and received an eviction notice. She has 2 children, and she was desperately trying to figure out how to keep a roof over their heads while also making sure they had food on the table. When Lola called 211, our navigator recognized she needed support on multiple levels. We connected her to emergency rental assistance programs to help us address her immediate housing need, referred her to food pantries, and helped her enroll in CalFresh to ensure they had food, and linked her with employment services to help her get back to work as quickly as possible. When someone loses their job, it doesn't just affect their income, it creates a ripple effect, touching housing, food security, child care, and overall family stability. 211 is here to help families navigate all of those challenges at once. When we look at the top categories of needs expressed, there it is, I'm sorry. Expressed by Santa Paula callers, housing ranked number 1, no surprise there. Second was income support and assistance, reflecting the economic pressures some families are facing. Third was individual, family, and community support, encompassing services like the Area Agency on Aging, case management, and programs like holiday gifts and toys. This slide here shows how Santa Paula compares to other cities in the county. As you can see, housing is the top need across every community. You know, this is a countywide challenge, not unique to Santa Paula. What Santa Paula shares with cities like Oxnard, Fillmore, and Simi Valley is the prominence of income support as the second highest need. These communities are calling about economic stability, jobs, income assistance, and financial support programs. This tells us something important about the specific economic pressures some Santa Paula residents are facing. And then lastly, beyond linking residents to existing resources, we operate several specialized programs delivering direct services through the phone for residents. Through VITA, our volunteer income tax assistance program, we offer appointments to no-cost tax preparation. Our PSPS initiative supports the access and functional needs population in advance of public safety power shutoffs via case management, care coordination, and delivers real-time help during actual shutoffs, covering things like lodging, meals, transportation, portable backup batteries, all at no cost to residents, and this is in partnership with Southern California Edison. Through ECM, our enhanced care management program, our team delivers comprehensive case management to Gold Coast health plan members who are eligible, helping them address their health needs, basic needs through coordinated care. Ventura versus Hate assists those who've experienced hate incidents in filing reports and accessing appropriate support services. These initiatives allow us to offer hands-on assistance to some of our most vulnerable residents in the community. I appreciate your time this evening. Thank you so much for your continued support of the work that 211 does here in Santa Paula. You know, if you or someone you know ever needs assistance, please remember that 211 is here 24/7. You could reach us by calling, texting, or visiting our website. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. Any council member have any questions of Mr. Gonzalez?
I have a question real quick.
Go ahead, Mr. Councilmember
Thank you,
Chavez.
Mr. Mayor. Can you share if there's been an increased number of calls tied to immigration issues?
No, not currently, not an increased number, but we're seeing a steady number of requests. So those are still coming in. So we're able to share the resources that we have currently. And one of the main places that we have those resources available is through 211now.com, but the community can call. We could provide that over the phone or through text as well. So what we're seeing right now is somewhat of a steady, number of requests, but nothing where it's been like significantly high.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Other council members? Councilmember Cornell?
I know this wasn't part of your presentation, but how are you funded?
So we're funded in part by city partnerships and support. And then so our 201 department actually serves over 32 counties in California. And we actually also serve Lake County, Illinois, which is south of Chicago. So yeah, that's in part one of the reasons. So we are contracted through United Ways throughout the state, counties throughout the state. So we cover kind of over half of the counties in California, so that's proudly done here in Ventura County. And then we also, as I was explaining around those special projects, so our funding comes through some of those special projects like SEE, so that's a big partnership that we have. So every time there's a PSPS event, we're activated and we're 24/7 and residents can call us and we can provide those offerings. So it's through the variety of the special projects, the vast number of counties that we serve, the city support that we have here through the county. And then also the agency, there's fundraising that happens throughout the year. So that's kind of
You
a
see,
variety of
everybody
it.
benefits, though, so I
Uh-huh.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you for being here to present. I've worked with Interface in the past in different jobs that I had, but it's really nice to see it laid out this way. And I hope that people that are watching or listening learn of the resource if they don't already know. And I do have a question, but not for you. Would this be something we could put like on our website as a resource for community members?
Yeah, I'm thinking that we do have it on there, but
yeah.
I'll make a note.
Thank you. And just thank you for, it's a very valuable resource to have for our community members to be able to call when they're facing a crisis. So I'm grateful for the work that you do. And I'm glad that we have you here to present so that we can learn about it, but also our community can learn about it if they don't already know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if I could just add one more thing to what you were saying, you know, where our staff are bilingual, we have an interpreter service, our services are free, they're confidential, you know, we don't capture any identifying information, so we try to reassure the community that they feel comfortable and safe calling, because like I said, we're not going to track anything, and it's a safe place where they can, you know, gather information and resources. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for adding that.
I'll just add that I think it's great that there's still so new people finding out about it, right? The fact that there were 264 new contacts this year. I'm glad to hear that the word about the 211 service is continuing to get out.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you for your presentation and for all the work that your organization does. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
All right, we'll now go on to item 7, City Council reports. We'll start with Councilmember Cornejo.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a lot. We had a special meeting that we all attended regarding cannabis. Beyond that, I've had a couple of meetings related to PBID, and I always say what it is because people always say, what's a PBID? Property Business Improvement District, so that everyone knows what we're talking about when we say PBID, related to kind of ironing out some issues that we've had with the program so that we can move forward and have it be a more productive program. So we've had some really good discussions about that leading to that. So, and beyond that, I've been really busy with family and work for some reason, but not related to this.
Thank you, Councilmember Cornejo. Councilmember Chavez, you have anything to add today?
No, I'll just wait till my written report.
Got it.
Let me
Thank
share.
you. Councilmember Morales?
I don't have anything that I did. I always forget, but yeah, you see, I already forgot. It was just yesterday. We had another immigration ad hoc committee meeting yesterday, where we went over our original list of things we wanted to accomplish. And we worked on a few of those. And we'll continue to do that work, working with city staff. It was great to meet with them. And that's all to report out of it. I think the only other thing was the cannabis, the special meeting we had on cannabis. That was a really hard meeting. I think personally, it was pretty overwhelming because of the weight that I felt behind the decision. It was just difficult to not have had more time as a council to speak about what it is that was being addressed. I felt like one day wasn't enough. And I hope that if that conversation is brought back to the table, as a council, we're allowed the time and the space to have the conversations where we can all speak about the topic, and it not be something that's just done on a committee that limits us to not be able to talk to anyone else if there's already two of us. I just always talk about transparency and consistency, and I did have a couple of emails I saw today from people, so I will respond to those. It was very difficult and uncomfortable for me because of that. I just felt that we weren't given enough time, and I know it'll come back up again, and I know that it's a topic that at some point will have to be talked about again, but I hope that as a council, we're given the appropriate time to hold the conversations that we should have, and also allow for community input to be done in a way that's more than just one time. Thank you for everyone again that attended that meeting. It wasn't an easy one. I am very emotional when it's something that I'm passionate about, and that day was just really difficult for me. So thank you to those that reached out and kind of, gave me a little pat on the back I needed and reminded me that it's like one thing at a time. Being on council isn't always easy, and it's not always something that is gonna work in whatever we think is best. Our job here isn't an easy one all the time. It's not like today where we just get to recognize all the cool stuff that happened in Santa Paula. It's not always fun. A lot of the time, I think it's not so fun, but I think, like it was said that day as a council, we're able to talk about things that we may not all agree on. And so I think it was unfortunate that we didn't have more time to do that on this specific topic, and in the short time frame that we had before, we needed to put it all together to put on the ballot. And if we're gonna do something as a council, I think that we would all agree that it should be done right the first time, and allow for spaces to be held for community involvement, feedback, and then for us as a council to be able to speak about it. So I think I've said it enough. Thank you again for everybody that was there, and I hope I didn't forget anything else I did.
Thank you, Councilor Morales. Vice Mayor?
All right. I will try to do the highlights. It's been very busy. I will start by, I did miss the last meeting because I was I went with members of the California State Assembly Select Committee on Asian Trade Relations on a trade mission to Japan, which was phenomenal, and I won't go into all the details right now, but, we met with members of the Japan Diet, their House of Representatives. We got to visit the U.S. Embassy and hear the staff there have their perspective on the trade relations. We visited with representatives from Gap and Beams, the JR West, which does the bullet train, which was fascinating. They're working on a faster bullet train because the one that they currently have that goes, I think, about 144 miles an hour isn't fast enough. And so they're working on one that uses magnetic technology that will be able to go even faster because it'll be a subway style, and it will go straight. So their goal, I believe it was to get from Tokyo to Osaka in 90 minutes. It's hundreds of miles. So that right now they've acquired all the right of way to be able to get from Tokyo to Kyoto. So that'll be stage one, and then they're going to start acquiring the land they need to build the second segment. But phenomenal what they do with transportation there. We also visited with Nippon Telegraph and Telephone Research and Development, and they're working on fascinating stuff. Like related to data centers, right now they have a lot of copper wire, which means there's a lot of energy and cooling requirements. And they're working on optic technology, so they would be able to get and the optics, like what broadband goes on, right? That's optic technology, so that it wouldn't generate the same kind of heat, and they would be able to do more in smaller spaces. And the question was, well, then does that mean that you could build smaller data centers? And they're like, yeah, probably not, because by then you'll need more computing power than you have now. Right now, they have to put all of the cells pretty far apart so that they don't get too hot. But so anyway, working on like re-diverting lightning. They actually have successfully diverted lightning using a drone and technology to direct it where they want it to land. And so they're working on perfecting that, but all kinds of interesting potential application for that kind of thing. They're working on how could you get solar to Earth using laser technology. So just all kinds of really interesting things that they were working on. And then the last one, there were others, but the last one that I'll mention is we visited the headquarters of Takeda Pharmaceuticals, which is out in Thousand Oaks, or one of their satellite offices is out in Thousand Oaks. And they specialize in treating rare diseases. And I know that they're having conversations, I don't know if they're public yet or not, so I won't say with who, but with a hospital system in Ventura County, because currently there aren't any hospitals where they're allowed to do trials in the county. So if someone here had a rare disease, they'd have to go to City of Hope, I think is one of the closest ones. And so they're working on conversations to try to get those individuals to be able to stay in the county to get their treatment. So anyway, some really exciting things happening there and here. And we'll continue to look for ways that we can benefit from the relationships and knowledge that I gained while I was on the trip. And then I am being officially recommended to the General Assembly in May of the Southern California Association of Governments for first vice president. So the General Assembly will vote at the May meeting on that. The one thing I'll add to the immigration ad hoc conversation is we are hoping, I think, is it still May 1st, City Manager? Or, May 5th that we're hoping to bring. So we're hoping to bring that resolution on May 5th, but at least sometime in May. So look for that resolution in May. And then as part of the Ventura County Transportation Commission, I also sit on the Santa Paula Branch Line Advisory Committee, and we were getting an update on the CMAQ Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality grant that VCTC received to do expanded service as a pilot in Santa Paula and Fillmore. So there's going to be, it won't start yet because they're still planning for where the stops were, but they're going to try expanding the fixed route to see if they can get more people to ride the fixed route if the routes are better. Right now, they're fairly condensed, and they're being underutilized. So they're looking at data from where people are taking dial-a-ride to see how they might redesign the fixed route to make it more useful. So I'll try to keep you updated as those conversations go on. One of the things I've been asking for is a bigger blow-up of the maps, because all of the sample maps that I've seen where the stops would be, it's really hard to tell exactly what streets and stuff that it's going on. So I'm trying to get more information on that. But that grant would go for 3 years so that you could really test pilot if you have a expanded service, does it work better? And then there is a little bit of a local match that we have to put in towards that. But it's hundreds of thousands of dollars to run that service over the 3 years to see. And the hope is that by the end of it, you'd have enough people who had shifted to fixed route that you wouldn't have to pay for as much dial-a-ride, because the dial-a-ride is significantly more expensive. So I'll keep you updated as those conversations are happening. And then you may have seen that Sierra Northern Railway was purchased, has a partner, something. I don't quite understand the relationship, but they're under now Ridgewood Infrastructure has, I think they purchased them. So Ridgewood Infrastructure now has purchased Sierra Northern, and they said that as far as we're concerned, it shouldn't change anything for what we see. The reason why they went forward with the purchase is because Ridgewood Infrastructure is a capital investment company. And so they're hoping that that will allow them to put more investment into the actual rail lines. Because they felt like they didn't have the capacity that they hoped that they would need. For now, the rail cars will continue to run. They're really hoping, they don't think they're going to make this year's deadline, but they're really hoping that by next year they can start having excursion trains. So that's their goal. They really do want to get back into doing that, but they also want to get a little bit more upkeep on the line, on the actual rail lines before they do that. And then also VCTC is working on fixing that Sesame Creek Railroad Bridge. And once that's up and running, then that will really allow them to expand what they're doing along the Santa Paula branch line. And then the Ventura County Local Area Formation Commission did officially vote today to change by policy that when they cancel meetings from August to July. So they will go dark in July, which is when the supervisors are now dark in July. So the county supervisors have officially changed their dark month to July. And then the only other thing is the Ventura County Regional Energy Alliance had been previously focused on heavily on expanding EV charging in the county. And with the changes in federal funding available for that kind of thing, they are now looking at sort of reimagining what their focus might be on. Some things that they've looked at is wildfire resiliency and mobility hubs. And there's some other areas that they're looking at, like where are grants available and where can they help pull that funding down, not just in the area of EV chargers. They had a really big grant for EV charging that January 1st of 26, the portal was closed, even though they had a signed MOU, and they never got access again. So they're trying to find other sources of funds to finish up that project that they had started, but don't foresee that being an area that there'll be a lot of opportunity in the near future. So they're looking into other ways that they can help benefit the community with grant funding. So I think that's all I have for now, so thank you.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor. I only have a couple things. We all attended the special meeting Monday, April 6th at the Community Center on the cannabis. And then I attended Monday evening on 4/13, the Oxnard, at the Oxnard Knights of Columbus. They awarded officers and Public Safety of the Year, and our recipient was Officer Ricky DeLong, so congratulations to him the other night. And then also, just as a reminder, there's going to be a Dispatcher of the Year in Simi Valley tomorrow night, and tonight we recognize our Dispatcher of the Year, Christina de la Mora. So, and that's all I have. Just one quick comment, Madam Clerk, did we get the name of that public speaker that came in?
Yes, I do have that.
Okay, thank you. All right, City Manager reports.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Actually, a number of things I'd like to cover. First of all, was obviously at the cannabis special meeting, and I just want to say it was one of the finer meetings that I've had the privilege of being part of. And I know it was not an easy one, and the topic was controversial, but it was such a pleasure to be in a setting at the local level where people are listened to, they have a chance to speak, to raise their voices, and the council is considerate of each other, considerate of the various views, and works together to make a decision. And I know that it's easy for me to say because I'm not sitting in your seats, but I've only heard positive things as a result of that meeting, and just wanted to express that appreciation. Our Future Leaders Academy is well underway. This last Monday, they got a chance to go to the wastewater treatment plant, to go see our water facilities, to hear from Public Works, and really enthusiastic group. We are looking for their graduation to occur second or third week in May, And so we'll give you all the date of that, because we'll do a little ceremonial dinner. We're also looking at possible interviews for commissioners and committee members, probably on the late afternoon of June 3rd. So please keep that in mind. It was a difficult meeting on Friday with a number of your downtown merchants. Councilmember Cornejo and I and the chamber were able to listen to some of the concerns about the facade improvement program, but also frustrations with the upkeep of downtown and the PBID and other matters. And we will probably be bringing you some things in May to respond to that program. So be on the lookout for that. Our police advisory committee applications are also out. So the chief has released those, promoting those in the public for a group of 5 to 7 of our residents to participate in. And so wanted to make that announcement. And we also have a very important community forum coming up on Sunday, April 26th, which will be held at the community center from 3 to 5 o'clock. It's not usual that we do things on Sunday, but this is specifically for our mobile home rent control ordinance discussions. The intention of this forum is really directed at the residents of our mobile home parks. We will have future workshops and then eventually one before the city council as we consider any new ordinances. So this particular workshop on the 26th is designed for mobile home park residents and other community stakeholders or people that are interested in public policy around rent stabilization, especially for our mobile homes. I was also at our Rotary meeting on Monday, which is a normal activity for me, but Mr. Mason was the presenter. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because not only was his presentation about city growth and development and economic development really, really well received, but I think it'll set the stage for the discussions that Councilmember Chavez has asked for with respect to kind of how we're growing and how we're accompanying that growth with improvements and other services. So we'll be looking to do that probably in June or no later than July. And then finally, I just wanted to point out, you had a public speaker tonight suggest that the council consider term limits. I did want the council and the public to know that that discussion has occurred with our elected body. I will take that staff report that was done for that discussion, and I'll make sure to send it to Mr. Beerhalter so that he's informed. And when I do that, I'll copy it to the 5 of you as well. But just wanted you to know that that is a discussion that's occurred in the past, in the recent past, and was not supported, but I'll share with you what that staff report covered.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Singer.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, I have a couple questions.
Go
real
ahead,
quick.
Councilmember Chavez.
You shared about the mobile home park. Can you give us the details on your outreach plan and how you're going to mobilize individuals to participate from the community and give all perspectives?
Sure. Let me invite Mr. Mason to come to the podium and share that.
And then confirm the date, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So I've been working with CAUSE and through CAUSE with the relationships with individuals at the mobile home parks. Just as a side note, one of the challenges of outreach is the easiest way for us to get people is either by direct mailer or by door knocking. Mobile home parks are very difficult that way, just because there aren't necessarily, there are mailboxes and no soliciting. So we've worked with CAUSE to be able to build relationships with people at those parks. We're going to be doing outreach that way. Both this week and next week, we'll be doing blasts as far as email, social media, and however else we can reach out. But our plan is to do this workshop focused on residents to get input. I don't want to go too deep into it, but the main thing is people don't necessarily understand what the rule, the ordinances, or how it affects them as a mobile home resident. So we want to be able to distinguish what those different areas are, what belongs to the state, what belongs to the city, what are civil matters, what are legal matters, what are neighbor matters. So we can, by the second meeting, be able to get input from the community that can help council as far as how that ordinance will be put together. So that's kind of the process that we're going to work through.
And can you confirm the date?
April 26th at 3 o'clock.
And
That's a Sunday.
Has it been publicized yet?
No.
Starting today.
And so you think that 2 weeks is enough time to get you the audience you need?
It's going to have to be.
Something, yeah.
That's what we're going to do. So, because it's been delayed long enough, we really need to get the input from people. And we've had some good relationships and connections with people through this process.
Okay.
So.
And then my second question is, the city manager mentioned the presentation with the Rotary Club. Is that presentation accessible to the council members? Or other organizations? Where is that messaging? How do we access that messaging?
Well, I mean,
that presentation.
I'm happy to, if you'll share the PowerPoint with me, I'm happy to send it to the council.
That'd be helpful.
And then it will probably, as I said, be the basis for the study session that we'll do on that topic, because I think it's very aligned with your request.
But this hasn't been presented to the Economic Development Committee at all, correct?
Well, I don't think there's anything in the content of that presentation that hasn't been before the council or the Economic Committee.
Two things I would say.
Nothing new in there, in other words.
Two things I would say about it. One is that these are things that council's familiar with, but more importantly, the focus was really on housing. It was really talking about housing. I'd say housing was the core of that, and then kind of the peripheral things that, as a city, we don't just focus on one thing. We focus on other things.
If I may interject, I just want to make sure this doesn't get in too much discussion. It's not on the agenda.
I would appreciate that information is shared with the council members in terms of what's being presented, so that we're aware if we're asked in the public about certain things that are mentioned during those meetings. If there's something that is viable for us to know, if you're packaging something or messaging.
Any other questions? And if I could just make a comment, having been program chair for Rotary, did Rotary ask you to come speak? How did that come about?
Yes.
That's what usually happens. We look for, county supervisors or, department heads, and so, it wasn't like, I don't think it was planned from the city. It's just Rotary reaches out trying to find programs. So, but thank you for that. I was there for that presentation as well, and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we will now move on to consent calendar. Background information has been provided to the City Council on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine by the City Council and are normally approved by one motion. If a discussion is requested by a council member on any item, or a member of the public wishes to comment on an item, that item may be removed from the consent calendar for a separate action. Madam Clerk, we don't have any public comment on any of the consent calendar?
No, we do not.
All right, thank you. Is there any council member that wants to, either has a question on a consent calendar item or wants to pull one? All right, seeing none, if somebody would entertain a
Motion
motion.
to approve consent calendar?
All right,
Second.
okay, it has been moved by Councilmember Chavez for the consent calendar and second by Councilmember Cornejo. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you very much. We're now moving on to action items 10A, Park and Orchard Street Water, Sewer, and Paving Project, and this can be presented by Dill Goodman, and I think you also have Bob Woodward if we need him. The other way around? Okay. Mr. Woodward, I think you're front and center then. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Mayor, members of council. Bringing the good news tonight, we have a recommendation to award the Park Orchard project. We received, can you guys hear me? We received 4 bids on the project, which is good. The lowest responsible and responsive bidder was under our engineer's estimate, which is also good. We're looking forward to getting the project started. Tonight, we have a recommendation to award to Toro Enterprises, along with a parallel recommendation for a contract for our construction management for Phoenix Engineering, who will be providing the construction period inspection, testing, oversight for the contractor. This team has worked together on the Harvard Boulevard project. They worked together on the Palm Court project as well. Palm Court was a similar water sewer replacement and paving project that occurred in a fairly confined neighborhood. So the good news is this team has some pretty good experience working together and working in fairly constrained environments with a lot of outreach to neighbors, communication, that type of thing. So we feel pretty good about this. What's being asked tonight is a recommendation to award both the base bid and the ad alternates to Toro Enterprises, plus an allowance for contingencies of 15%. In case there's any additional work that's required during the course of construction, a recommendation to execute a professional services agreement with Phoenix Engineering for construction management and construction period services, and then finally a budgetary allocation to the new CIP for Park Orchard, which essentially removes budget from their respective enterprise funds, sewer and water, and also allocates paving funds from Measure R. So essentially deductions from those funds and transfers to the new CIP to make up the requested budget. So those are the 4 items that we're requesting for approval tonight. And I'll entertain any questions y'all have.
Thank you, Ms. Woodward. Councilmember Chavez?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In your experience, when it comes to contingencies for the projects that we've done, have we been refunded or have we exceeded the contingency when they start digging around and they find something else? What's been our MO?
Generally, we've stayed under the project plus contingency. On the Peck water main replacement, we actually came in under the original budget. It was actually credit back to the city. A lot of it in these older neighborhoods, when they start getting in and digging around these older streets, a lot of it's determined by what they run into. We're hoping that it being a residential neighborhood, that there's not much in the street other than what we expect to find there, and the conditions will be basically what we expect them to be. So we figured 15% is probably a more than sufficient contingency for the project. And generally, Phoenix does a pretty good job managing Toro. It's a pretty good relationship. So there's a lot of conversations before they start work, talking about sequence of construction, approach, notification of residents, things that tend to preempt things that could turn into potential changes. So we feel pretty good about that as well.
I was happy to see that you got 4 bids because I know that there's been an issue with the competitive bidding process. Once City Council approves this, in terms of when the residents would expect to see activity, what would be your expected timeline for that?
There's a couple things that need to happen. One is council's voting to essentially have staff go back and develop a contract for Toro. So there's an internal piece, which is getting the contract paperwork done. And then as we start getting closer, we'll put Toro on notice that we're getting ready to get started. The idea is to get them going as soon as we can. As soon as we get a notice to proceed in their hands, we'd like to get them started. The goal is to get the project done over the summer. So we'd like to get them started by, I would say, about June 1st or so, if not sooner.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Woodward.
Thank you, Councilmember Chavez. Others? Vice Mayor?
So we anticipate then that communication with residents will be smoother than it was for sort of the last phase of the paving? And do you know anything, any of the specifics around how they plan to, like if there's, you say on day one, we think it's going to go this way, and then if there's a delay or there's rain, or do they have a plan for how they'll communicate with the residents? Because I know like in the other project, there was a web page but then the webpage didn't get updated. So it was helpful for telling you what day they were supposed to have started, if you knew to go to it, but then kind of along the way. So do you know anything about how they plan to communicate with the residents?
So there's some contract provisions that kind of identify the advanced duration for them communicating with residents, if there's any things that affect access to their homes, their driveways. What's going to be done, though, as part of the run-up to the notice to proceed, we'll put together a communications plan with the contractor so that essentially they lay out their schedule that they're anticipating, and then they understand that there's going to be some advanced notifications per the contract documents, but also that we have a more dynamic communication back to the city's Public Works Department that'll in turn be posted on a project website. That, I think, will provide a little bit more of a daily referral in terms of where things are progress-wise, and maybe when residents can expect to see the next steps happen.
Yeah, I just wanted us to continue refining that, because I know that we're going to be hopefully, speeding up some of the paving around town after that. And I just wanted to make sure that we're sort of refining how we communicate that going forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilmember Cornell.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we've had some different successes with communications depending on the project or the section that was worked on. I do remember that this team did do Palm Court, and I had residents come to me and say the communication was amazing, and a lot of it was in person. And so maybe with a smaller neighborhood like Palm Court was with Orchard and Palm, that might be easier to actually have that direct communication with the residents, because they were just short of raving about how well it went. And so, if they can just model what they did on that and then increase the information for everyone else as well, to have that source on our website, that just makes it better, because people are getting better and better and more used to using those types of options for getting information as well. So, so I'm just really pleased that this is going. And it's a big chunk of our pavement management budget. It's huge, but we all know, we've all heard plenty about how awful those streets are. And the reason that we had to hold off was budget. But now that we do have the budget and we have to do the underground work as well, that's what causes all the time and the cost. But I'm just really pleased to get that one rolling and then off our plate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Cano. Councilmember Nellis, you have anything? Or? Okay, I just have a couple of questions. The map identifies Park and Orchard, and obviously Park goes north and east and west, and then you have Orchard that goes east and west. The unnamed alley, they call it Orchard Alley or Park Alley, that's also included as well, even though it doesn't have a name?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and have we overcome any of the concerns that might happen with any intrusion on the work that's just happened on Ohio Road with Caltrans?
We don't anticipate a significant kind of overlap issues. Caltrans and their contractor are extending some of the pipeline connections for Park and Orchard as part of their project, so that we're not in turn getting into their work area, that's been a nice add on our water division side. So that'll provide the connectivity for the pipeline connections for the Park Orchard project.
And do you anticipate, or have you heard if Toro anticipates trying to do the whole block at once, or are they going to do like one street at once and then move on to the next and then move on to the next? Just because, as Councilmember Cornell said, a lot of people live there and a lot of people are going to be impacted. And the thing is, so many cars and next to a busy highway, there's literally nowhere to park. So I don't know, hopefully there's going to be somebody that can coordinate, when these things are going to occur, when it's going to impact people. And I would suggest, is there someone that you have lined up as a liaison that somebody can call from the city or from Toro if they have a problem?
Yeah, one of the big parts of the planning on this project as they go into construction is going to be the construction sequence and phasing plan that'll essentially be driven by needs for access for residents. That's some of the magic that'll come out of some of the initial coordination between Phoenix and Toro. So we'll kind of figure out between Phoenix and Toro who the best delegate is for that communication in terms of what's to come. But that's some of what's going to get done initially, is figuring out how to get the work done efficiently while also not wholesale obstructing people's access or parking.
I mean, it'd be nice if we had some number on our website on somebody they can call to voice concerns or updates. Yeah, if we can get that. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Sorry, one more thing. I just based on it, what made me think of it was the comment that Councilmember Cornejo said. This is an expensive project. It doesn't all come just for the benefit of the public. I know that she knows this, but just for the benefit of the public, that not all of those funds for the $1.7 million that this is going to cost are all coming out of the streets fund. So would you, for the benefit of the public, just clarify for them how this project gets funded?
Yes, so the project funding is essentially broken into 3 different blocks. One is the water, the other is the sewer. They're both enterprise funds. So essentially, we segregate those funds into those respective parts of the budgeting. We allow for a certain amount of paving repair to be taken for just the sewer replacements. That allows some of the enterprise funds to be used a bit more efficiently in terms of the paving to minimize the impact on the Measure R funds. So the Measure R funds actually are, I wouldn't say a minimal part of this budget, but they are $440,000 of the total. So it's a fairly efficient way to use our paving funds because we're also backing into some of the enterprise funds that were allowed to take some of that money to do paving repairs. So definitely not a large amount of money for that. If we had to go in and pave that area, we'd have spent quite a bit more paving it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make it clear to people that when they, if they saw the 1.733 million and went, wait a second, you're supposed to spend how much on, streets, that they would think that that was all coming out of that one pot. And so I just wanted to clarify that, yes, we do pay for it from somewhere, but only the 440,000 and change is coming out of the actual streets funds. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, for that clarification. Anyone else?
Motion?
With that, I just want to say that this item 10A could have been a consent calendar item, but we felt it was important to let the public know, as Vice Mayor and Councilmember Cornejo said, it's easy to just pass a motion that we've got a bid, but it's important for the public to hear what's being done, when it's being done, and who's doing it, and of course, where the money's coming from. So we made it a action item. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I will, I was going to say, I would enthusiastically move the item.
Second?
Do we have to read all 4 lines?
Can we just say we accept staff's recommendations 1 through 4?
Is that acceptable? Okay, very good. Okay, so it's been moved by Vice Mayor Crosswhite and seconded by Councilmember Chavez. Any discussion on 10A? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that item passes. Thank you very much. We now move on to 10B, renew the 2025 military equipment annual report and renew ordinance 1350 and approving the military equipment funding acquisition use policy for the Santa Paula. And this is going to be done by our Chief of Police, Don Aguilar. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening once again to the Mayor, Vice Mayor, and the council members and our viewing audience tonight. I'm here tonight with the staff report and presentation on reviewing the 2025 military equipment annual report and renewal of ordinance 1315. Also approving the military equipment funding, acquisition, and use policy for Santa Paula. Tonight, staff is hopeful that we recommend that the council review the police department's annual military equipment report and approve the military equipment funding, acquisition, and use policy as required by Government Code Section 7072 of Assembly Bill 481, and also to renew the ordinance 1315 adopted April 20, 2022. This presentation will provide the public tonight and the council with the background on this annual approval task that we will do with the police department. overview briefly of the process, what the requirements are, the equipment categories that we are specifically talking about tonight with reference to the police department, and available options for the city council to consider after we're done. So some quick background. On September 30th, 2021, Assembly Bill 481 was approved. It required city councils to adopt military equipment use policy and adopt ordinance. On April 6, 2022, the Santa Paula City Council introduced Ordinance 1315, adopting a military equipment policy for the police department. And the Santa Paula Police Department policy number 705 outlines the military equipment. In accordance with Assembly Bill 481, the policy is added to the agenda as an open session item at a regular meeting of the City Council, and public comment on the item will be allowed in accordance with the Brown Act. In process, the ordinance shall be reviewed by the City Council at least annually and based on annual military equipment report that must be submitted to the City Council pursuant to AB 481. The City Council shall determine whether each type of military equipment identified in the report has complied with the standards for continued approval. Under AB 481, the police department must submit an annual military equipment report for each type of military equipment used within 1 year of approval and annually thereafter. Now, there are 6 requirements for this that we adhere to. The first one is a summary of how the military equipment was used and the purpose of its use. The second, a summary of any complaints or concerns received concerning the military equipment. 3, the results of any internal audits, any information about violations of the military equipment use policy, and any actions taken in response. 4, the total annual cost for each type of military equipment, including acquisition, personnel, training, transportation, maintenance, storage, upgrade, and other ongoing costs, and from what source funds will be provided for the military equipment in the calendar year following submission of the annual military equipment report. 5, the quantity possessed for each type of military equipment. And 6, if the law enforcement agency intends to acquire additional military equipment in the next year, the quantity sought for each type of military equipment. Now, in the staff report, there are 15 listed categories that describe and are defined in each of those categories of the staff report. And although there are 15 categories that we talk about, the Santa Paula Police Department only has 7 categories of the 15. So category 2 are the mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles or armored personnel carriers. So we have 1 armored vehicle. Category 5, we have a command and control vehicle, and those are either built or modified to facilitate the operational control and direction of public safety, and that is our mobile command post vehicle. Category 7, battering rams, slugs, and breaching apparatus that are explosive in nature. We have a breaching shotgun. Category 9, specialized firearms and ammunition less than .50 caliber, including firearms and accessories identified as assault weapons in Penal Code 3510 and Penal Code 3515, with the exception of standard issued handguns, and those are our patrol rifles. Category 11 are the noise, flash, diversionary devices, and explosive breaching tools. We have what they call light sound diversionary devices, and those are flashbangs, and we have 3 different types of those. Category 12 are munitions containing tear gas or OC, excluding standard service-issued handheld pepper spray OC and CS chemical, or standard issued handheld pepper spray. For our agency, we have OC, and we also have the CS chemical agents. Category 14, kinetic energy weapons and munitions, including the following projectile launch platforms and their associated munitions. That would include the 40 millimeter projectile launchers, the beanbag rubber bullet, and specialty impact munition, or SIM, what type of weapons. So for this category, we have the 40 millimeter launcher, and to go with that, the energy projectiles. This year, we had a change in the number of 40 millimeter foam kinetic energy projectiles. We have a total, I believe, of 74. We may need to purchase additional of those items. We do not know how many yet, and the reason is because depending on the calls we either have for mutual aid within our county or in another adjacent county, if they declare mutual aid and require assistance. For example, we responded to Los Angeles last year, and we deployed some of our munitions. So these are the munitions that are have a range of about 10 to 40 meters, and the 40 millimeter launchers, just for the sake of information, those are in our patrol vehicles. So the 40 millimeter launchers are in our patrol vehicles, and the projectiles, foam kinetic projectiles, are what's the munitions for that. As far as the requirements for the annual report, the City Council is required to review the policy. And on the ordinance renewal, the City Council shall determine whether each type of equipment has complied with Government Code 7071, subsection D, subsection 1. And those standards are: A, military equipment is necessary because there is no reasonable alternative that can achieve the same objective of officer and civilian safety. B, the proposed military equipment use will safeguard the public's welfare, safety, civil rights, and civil liberties. C, if purchasing the equipment is reasonably cost-effective compared to available alternatives that can achieve the same objectives of officer and civilian safety. And D, prior military equipment prior military equipment used complied with the military equipment use policy that was in effect at the time, or if prior uses did not comply with the accompanying military equipment use policy, corrective action has been taken to remedy nonconforming uses and ensure future compliance. Before referring to the inventory report and the other attachments, I just want to provide some additional input on all the categories of equipment we have, and the very few amount of those categories are actually being used. And we propose to purchase potentially, as I said before, additional units of equipment, which would be the 40 millimeter projectile munitions. Those purchases will be made with supplemental law enforcement funding to augment less lethal force options and de-escalation, which is what we use the launchers for. Officers have been trained in handling the use of the 40 millimeter launcher, less lethal launcher. The remaining inventory in the annual inventory report had no annual cost for supplies, upgrades, storage, and maintenance. This portion of the inventory is for specific use with a special weapons and tactics team or special response team. Those particular teams do not exist at the police department at this time, and it is a future plan to reestablish those teams. All the other information required by AB 41 is provided in the annual inventory report that's in the attachment. So the options for this evening are to approve the military equipment use policy and renew Ordinance 1315, contingent on modifications to the policy required for AB 481 compliance. Do not approve the military equipment use policy and do not renew Ordinance 1315, or provide staff with further direction. So at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions or address any comments.
Thank you very much. Chief, comments from council? Councilmember Canale.
Just for the sake of history, people, I believe, wonder why we have an armored vehicle. And this comes, and perhaps Mayor Juarez remembers better, as I recall, or have been told, that we've had it for some time, and it was, I don't know how to say it, it was extra unused available equipment that we got very inexpensively. And have not used it much here, but when there were riots in Beverly Hills on mutual aid, some of our team and the armored vehicle was contracted to help them during some riots some years ago. So it's not something that is in regular use, but it is there for us and was obtained very inexpensively, as I understood.
That's correct. Thank you, council member. And those, the uses of that vehicle, the operation use of it have to be approved by the executive or command staff of the department.
Other question? Vice Mayor?
No, I just want to add, I know that there were a couple of times several years ago, not recently, when we actually had a SWAT team, where the SWAT team used the vehicle when there was a individual that was barricaded, who had committed a murder, who was then barricaded inside a house. And they had it between the officers and the house in case the individual had decided they wanted to, come out and make a scene of things. But they used that as the point from which they tried to negotiate the person to surrender, which they ultimately did. But I know it has also at some point been used that way. And then the other idea when it was acquired was if there was ever an emergency situation in which, say, there was a major earthquake and the roads became impassable, that you could potentially use it to actually get across town if you couldn't get regular vehicles across town at that point. So that it could also be used as a emergency response tool if needed. And you hope that you have it and never need it.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Chavez, go ahead.
Chief, we do this every year, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Was there any new equipment purchased since the last time we had a report to the state?
No.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, real quick, just a little bit of history. So, we didn't always get military equipment. Back after the Hollywood shootout with the Tucson, the North Hollywood shootout, that's when agencies decided, we probably better get better equipment. And so we actually started what was called a high-risk entry team by actually getting other agencies' used equipment, vests and helmets and everything, and then we sold a bunch of our old police equipment to BK Botash down in Los Angeles to get our submachine guns and assault rifles. And it was actually Mike Levy, who was a reserve, who let us use his Dragoon, which was one of the first armored vehicles. So initially, we didn't have any military equipment, but then later on, when Dermo came around, that's when we started getting military equipment. And like Vice Mayor Crosswhite just mentioned, when it comes to equipment, I'm a firm believer that it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm glad this program exists. So with that, any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion for item 10B.
Second.
You want to make a motion? I entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept the inventory presented in the agenda item.
And renew ordinance 1315?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, very good, thank you. So it's been moved by Councilmember Chavez for 10B, and then seconded by Councilmember Ornelas. Any discussion? Okay, with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that carries. Thank you very much, Chief, for your presentation, and you be safe out there, and the
Mayor and
officers as
Council.
well. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we now move on to item 11A, future agenda items.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, really nothing extraordinary to report. And just as a reminder, there will be a couple of council members missing meetings in May. So those agendas may stay on the lighter side.
And also, as you heard, some, like the supervisors and other entities, go dark. We don't go completely dark in July and August, but we are limited to one council meeting in July and one in August, so.
I should probably just make the reminder for the public's sake that your first meeting in May is going to be on a Tuesday night, which is unconventional for us. And that's to accommodate the SCAG conference that starts on Wednesday. So.
Okay. Councilmember Carneo?
Thank you, Mayor. Also, I just wanted to mention that there is an offer by the new general manager for VRSD to make a presentation when you would like. So I can get you his contact information. It's Eric Zetz, And so I think that we'd benefit from a presentation by
That
him
would
at
be
some
good.
point this year. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 8:31. Thank you.